Well, g'day people. Back at the workshop after a long time away. I thought I'd kick off with this rather quirky little train from Ash's workshop. I'll put the link in the description below if you look, it's in the plans. But this is suitable for a toddler. I've got a new grandson, so I thought maybe in 6 months or so he might be ready to have a bit of a play with this. So if you hang around, I'll show you how it's built. Maybe I'll show you a couple of tips on the way. Ash's plans are very easy to follow with dimensions and pictures and descriptions. I do all my cutouts using my table saw and my table saw sled. Now, in Peter Ash's plans, he actually uses two pieces to create the carriage, undercarriage for the train and the carriages on the back. But in this case, I'm going to try it with one. And in order to get the coupling, I'll need to cut a section off each end on opposite sides like this and see how that goes. So I started cutting these out by hand just using my bench hook and tenon saw. That works well. If that's what you've got, that's what you use, but in reality I've got a bandsaw, so I very quickly swapped over to finish them off. So what we have is something looking like this, which cut out each end. Now they needed to be rounded on here and a hole put through for pegs and to hook the carriages on. But I've used standard 19mm off the shelf for this. If you look at Peter Ash's plans, you'll see he uses two pieces, which is a 12mm and a 9mm, adds up to 21mm. So this is 2mm short, but have to have a look when I get to assembly whether that still works. So a quick clean up of those cut-ins just to get the saw marks off. Now, I did find a couple of bits of dowel that I thought would be good for the smokestack and the boiler dome. But because I wanted just a little bit of contrasting timber in there, I thought I'd try something different. Now, I'm no great lathe worker here. I just fiddle occasionally with a mini lathe, but I'm actually making parts for 3 of these trains. So that first bit is for the boiler cover, and the second bit I'm working on now will be for the smokestacks. So I just mark each of them out and then have a go. The boiler cover's pretty straightforward, just a bit of a curve on it, and I made them to 12mm in depth. Now, doing the detail on the smokestack here, you'll see I've left a little peg at the base, which is 6mm to put into a 6mm hole. Now, the boiler's just a piece of broom handle, which just seemed to be about the right dimension, so a 12mm hole for the boiler cover, and then a 6mm hole for the smokestack, and just a test fit here. Now I mark out the positions here for the axles, and in the usual way I use a fence as a guide. This maintains a standard distance across all the holes as we go down, and this bit's the undercarriage for the train, or the steam train itself. And make sure you clean up between two, otherwise you end up with inaccuracies very quickly. Now on the lid of the carriage here and also on the train, we need a bevel. So pretty simply mark out a couple of lines, and I just find using a small block plane does the job very easily, both on the roofs and on the bit that'll become the cow catcher. Now here's the cutting out the wheels, about 12mm of jarrah, just to give a bit of contrast, and then clean up, if you can see through my hand, just clean up the wheels with a drill on a bit of 6mm. Now here's all the pieces cut out and ready for assembly. Whoops, a couple of shots here, about as fuzzy as a wombat's bum. But anyway, you just follow the instructions and keep gluing them together. And again, I'm starting with the upper parts of the train and also the carriages before mounting them on the base. A little bit different to what I usually do with the build. Similarly of the passenger carriage, it's easier to do the side bits as one piece and create them as a wall, glue them all up then. But here's a goods carriage, just a simple box, easy to put together. And then bang in some pegs, always good fun doing that. And now a dry fit of the wheel. Well, it's happened. Remember when I said I used a 19mm here instead of the two pieces which add up to 21? Now I thought I might get away with it because in fact my wheels are not 25, they're 24. I've got a hole saw that's 27mm, which leaves a 24mm wheel. However, because of the play in the axle holes, the wheel's actually just making contact in here. No good. I think I can fix it. I'll take the wheels off just by putting a small hollow or little arch under here that'll barely be noticed. So don't forget the important step, make sure all surfaces are clean and all edges and corners are nicely sanded. Important for safety for little tackers. So the assembly continues. Now here's another little problem to fix up. I actually set these holes too far back from the curve edge and so there's not enough space. Again, I'll fix that just by rounding this over a bit closer. So final step, just add some paraffin oil, gives a nice contrast between the jarrah and the pine. Well, I hope you enjoyed the build and got something out of it. Please like and subscribe down below and I'll catch you next time. See ya.